Welcome, Speed Gaming. How you doing this fine morning, evening, and or afternoon, wherever you may be in this great blue world of ours? This is your boy LV Creed here, and joining me beside me is Sinister Sama. How you doing this evening?
It's a long night, but hey, I'm hanging in there. How you holding, Creed?
I'm holding up well, and we gonna have to hold on for a good little bit because right now we are about to start up another race in our Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament, and this is gonna be a doozy. We have now reached winners finals. Casual Tom and Prodigy are about to go at it to see who's gonna be the one spinning pretty at the first person to sit at grand finals, and we are already underway.
Oh boy. And it looks like revealed. Looks like Prodigy had first, and it looks like we got vanilla sprites.
It should be custom sprites, as you see what we got right now. Like, it's for those that haven't been keeping track of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer, we had quite a bit of interesting sprite work that has been added throughout the past couple of months, and some of them are quite interesting. Some good, some bad, some ugly, the whole 9 yards. But we're glad to have them in, as right now we got Prodigy and Casual Chong going to quick, and things are already looking kind of rough with these Buster Immune fan fiends.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to see, especially if they're going to be roaming around in any of the whammy levels, or airman for that matter. Immune fan fiends being immune, you're going to need a weapon for this.
Right now it seems like Prodigy came out a little lesser for worse for wear, but Casual Tongue got a little bit more battered, beaten, and bruised. But both of them still pretty much neck and neck, probably about a screen advantage for both our runners, as both our runners are going through quick man stage, going through the lasers. For those that aren't familiar with how some of the routing works, if you want to call it such, most of our runners tend to go through Quick Man first and Flash if they don't choose Quick for the easy E tank, and surprisingly a generally easier stage in spite of some of the instant death in a Quick Man stage.
Yeah, usually your first big test when doing something like that is learn your lasers, and it's an airman.
Airman with a pretty big leap. That corner is not going to be all that safe. And he also not Buster South weak either, so you're going to take those 14 hits in order to take this Airman lookalike out, but pretty simple pattern, not really trolling with the air tornadoes. More of a bro, if anything, but able to take them down, and both our runners are going, to our second easy stage in Flash.
Yeah, Flashman's pretty much the way to go, and just to let you guys know, this is indeed winners final, so these two have managed to win all their matches up to this point, so all they gotta do now is, top 3 is guaranteed. Winner here will be waiting at winners finals. Loser here will actually be taking on the winner of Creed and Charlie Boy, which will be happening tomorrow night.
Yes, indeed. So, if you want to call this pre-scouting before that match comes up, yeah, you can call it as such. But for right now, we got both Prodigy and Casual Tom going through Flashman stage, having a little bit of roadblocking with, once again, seeing the fan feed along the way. Not sure if we're going to come back in this stage. We're about to see in a few moments. No! Right now, we got a lot of drills and crushers on the way. Tom is just taking them right on the chin. Prodigy wisely using the weapon that he got from Quickman, which is the Leaf Shield, but unfortunately Leaf Shield is one of those Leaf Shields that are kind of inverted. One of the randomized attributes that we do have in this randomizer are the weapons, and they can do just about any given silly thing, as we got an unfortunately durable Heat Man sighted for both our runners.
This is going to be a rather long heat, man, and this is a fast heat too. So any mistake, and that's a lot of damage. Oh, and Casual Tom will be the first to feel the effects.
Yeah, Heat Man is one of the most damaging robot masters in this game. Contact damage is severely high when touching them, so if you get yourself kind of cornered,
hold that thought. That Leaf Shield was the kryptonite for Heatman, and Casual Tom just retook that lead with that knowledge.
Ooh, good observation. One of the additions that we had over time is the fact that one weapon can either deal what we like to call casual time. There's so much to explain, but there's so much action. Casual Tom saving himself from a bird despawning one of the main platforms in Bubble Man stage, wisely using the pause buffer to get that extra distance to save his hide, and that could have been really disastrous.
Into the Blueberry Kai they go, and is Zips allowed? Would be the question. Ooh, Tailies are immune to the Buster, and oh, it is indeed Zipless.
Yep, we did call Zipless go to the very beginning, at least I thought we did, but if you didn't know then, you know now. But yeah, while we are forced to go through the aquarium here, I would like to reiterate what I was trying to say before Casual Tom's very death-defying jump across the early parts of Bubble Man stage. As you saw when you saw through the Heatman fight, there are a couple of weapons that does immense damage. We like to call those great weakness or ultimate weakness, depending on the damage values. As Sinister has seen and described, he found one of those weaknesses in the Leaf Shield as he was fighting Heatman. So that is a very big weakness in Casual Tom's pocket that he can take for the remainder of the game, as weaknesses are randomized.
Indeed, I like to call that the God weakness. And with that, Prodigy will be going against Flash in the water. Casual Tom will be joining him shortly. And okay, that's a little interesting. Casual Tom once again is using the Buster, and he's gonna get better mileage, and he's right on Prodigy's heels.
Using the Leaf Shield wasn't a bad idea. It was able to keep Flashman locked up in a jumping pattern, but it dealt much less damage than the Buster. So in the end, Casual Tom did wind up getting a little bit extra mileage for his boss fight compared to Prodigy. Not to mention, from that fight, we got Item 2, and Item 2 is definitely one of the most useful items. Items also being randomized amongst the 8 Robot Masters, so we still got 2 more to find amidst the 5 that were remaining.
Yeah, right now, but for every item that we do not find, that means that it opens up the door for a whammy level having one of our items.
Well, probably one of the biggest ones, Item 2, is probably one of the good ones to find early, especially if you want to ignore all those Heatman Yoku blocks that are coming up later on. But yeah, right now we do have a split path. We got Prodigy going through Airman stage being one of the scarier levels, and definitely could be with very durable chickens, these man chickens. Hopefully, yep, wisely uses the Item 2 in order to fly over them, but he's gonna have to deal the rest of the way and try to deal with these man chickens. Meanwhile, Casual Tom dealing with the frienders, our hot dogs, very quickly with the air shooters. And gonna go to the top of the treehouse, where the treehouse, it's a little annoying, but definitely more friendly than what it could be.
Definitely, and after dealing with Monkey, he's gonna be going on through. So, a slightly slower stage in Woodman. Prodigy will be going to his Airman, and we're gonna see what's behind this door. And that is a Crashman. Ooh.
And we got a little bit of a pseudo-dumb Crash. Very slow to attack, got a soft weakness in air, definitely made it a little quicker fight, and finds item 3 in air, so he has items 2 and 3 to go through some of these remaining stages a little quicker, but for right now he's gonna go through Woodman, pretty much following the footsteps of Casual Tom for a little bit. Meanwhile, Casual Tom goes into said Woodman boss room, and you think that looks like an elect man that is actually metal that he's fighting.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is definitely not the metal you want. And, God weakness in air!
Prodigy mowing down some of these enemies with the atomic fire, and it's one of those supercharged ones. You don't have to charge it up. It's fully charged from the get-go, and looks like it has good weapon consumption as well. This is probably one of the better atomic fires to get in this regard, so you pretty much going to be using that for all it's worth.
Yeah, that's the only fire. That's firing one at a time, so that's really, really good. Our first look at metal. Oh, it's gonna get a little sticky. Casual Tom's gonna have to make this jump, and he's gonna have to take a hit for this. He takes a hit, and he makes it out.
Yeah, one of those areas where fan fiends could be pretty treacherous. The wind pretty much blowing you and just pretty much just slowing your horizontal movement, making jumps like that much more deadly than it could have been otherwise. But Casual Tom, being the veteran that he is, does know how to at least keep himself in a position where he can actually live and continue on through the rest of the stage.
Right now, Prodigy got at least about a half stage lead on Casual Tom, but this is going to get a little interesting here because with Casual Tom already getting through potentially perhaps one of the harder stages, this is going to be interesting to see what's next for Casual Tom. Prodigy himself is going to try to figure out that that Metal Man's going to give him the business.
Well, he's not going to check air. Casual Tom does know that air is the weakness, but Prodigy does not want to get into close contact with Metal, and unfortunately going to get a much slower fight because of it. Meanwhile, Casual Tom is fighting Bubble in Metal Man's room, finding out that it's also Buster Soft Week, so he gets a very quick fight on Bubble. So right now, both our runners are pretty much evened up on Robot Masters, so it's still anyone's game up until this point.
Well, here's the thing. Casual Tom found item 1 on Metal, so Prodigy will be getting his item 1, and with that being the case here, we're gonna see if there's a divergence going further.
Well, the divergence isn't going to be all that much at this point. Both our runners are going through stages that we've already seen before, so Airman shouldn't be too much trouble for Casual Tom. We saw that Prodigy didn't have much trouble with it, so at least I expect Tom not to have any trouble with it, but he also uses his item 2 very early, and we know that we got some man chickens incoming for the second half of the stage that are very, very durable for Buster shots. Hopefully he has a weapon that can take him out in one blow, because these enemies like these are very treacherous in these areas with open pitfalls.
He fights in the air and ooh, into the abyss.
Yep, and these man chickens are holding no prisoners tonight. Taking our first casualty in Casual Tom. So that would actually pretty much put a definite advantage on Prodigy, as Prodigy did make this area pretty cleanly.
Yeah, he's gonna have at least a 10-second head start going into the whammy levels. Oh, and he finds Metal being the hard weakness for Bubble, and that'll do what he does. That's item 1.
And we haven't been taking too much notice on how item 1 is working. Item 1 is actually pretty static. Item 1 being the only item in the game that has a randomized attribute. Even though zips are not that much of a thing in this race, having a static item 1 can still be a bit of a nuisance since it has no verticality. You can't really get to higher places as fast as you want, but still, having that in your back pocket is still a good thing to have, and we got both our runners killing themselves in different ways, might we add.
Yeah, Crashman got Casual Tom. Prodigy decided to go into the Nickelodeon spikes.
Casual Tom doing some weakness searching for Crash. Decides to go with Buster as we are full on dumb Crash. As Crash just decided to take a casual stroll across the boss arena, not really caring about the bullets that are going through his gut, and he winds up dying in the process. Meanwhile, Prodigy does recover from his fatal fall into the Nickelodeon spikes, as my co-commentator so wonderfully suggested. You got an imagination there, Sinister.
Hey, better than the radioactivity, that's spikes. So right now, half a level is separating Casual Tom to Prodigy, and Prodigy's not checking wall weaknesses right now.
Well, we already know that Buster is not a weakness. We saw that very early on in Flash. So both our runners, if they so choose to take the time to check the wall weaknesses, they could do it here. But I'm pretty sure both our runners are probably going to wait until the Wally stages to check for those weaknesses.
Yeah, and speaking of which, they're taking the second hardest level, the second longest, into the longest level. So we're going to see how bad Crash is momentarily. But Prodigy is going to go and meet up who's behind the heat door today.
And behind our door, we got ourselves a Quick Man. And Quick Man is another Buster Soft Weak enemy. So for those that aren't familiar with the Randomizer, or Mega Man 2 for that matter, there are 4 Robot Masters that are Soft Weak to the Buster. And since we are playing on easy mode, that pretty much just signifies that they're going to take much more damage and will go down just as quickly. But as you have seen throughout this rando run, this being on easy mode means nothing. This randomizer, if it wants to, it can just completely screw our runners over whenever it sees fit. As you saw earlier with some of these deaths that both Casual Tom and Prodigy has dealt with earlier on.
Indeed. And with that being the case, it looks like the Pikmin are going to be our Chanky Makers today. And, ooh, did he fall off? Nope, he made it. So, that being the case, good thought to see that Quickman is Buster is hard-coded to be 4 hits to the Buster. So, we can probably see that in order during the rematch stages. So, Prodigy is about a half level ahead as of this point.
Yeah, since both our runners have definitely converged by the time they reach Heat Man, you can definitely see that Prodigy having a much more cleaner run compared to Casual Tom definitely does have a decent advantage over Tom, but we still have the Wily stages to go where pretty much anything can happen. So stick tight, folks. We still got ourselves a doozy of a finish upcoming, and this is still race 1. All of our matches are still best of 3, so we still have at least one extra match coming up before the race is end.
And it looks like Casual Tom having a much cleaner elevator. He's going to get about 10 seconds back right here.
Prodigy wisely using the item 3 to get that higher heights, making the crash climb all the more faster. And we should have one more robot master to go, and if my guess is correct, that should be a Woodman incoming.
Yep, I have not seen Wood yet, so... Oh, Pikmin saying, no, I'm gonna hit you.
Yep, and that is Woodman with a Toadman sprite makeover. Making probably one of the few times you can say Toadman is actually somewhat of a challenge, but Prodigy is able to take out this Woodman in Toad's closing as we get... Well, we got an Oatmeal Man in plain view. That is the Quaker Oats Man, who is our Wily analog for this particular race, as they go into the all-consuming blackness that is going to be the Wily stages. So, we gotta sell something for a chat for you to do. Sinister, if you so please.
Indeed. We have a dragon. We have colors, the type of dragon, and weaknesses. So for those who don't know about the design of the dragon, there are 4 types of dragons now. We have our regular vanilla dragon. We have the Swaggin, the one with the shades. We have the Dragon Corn, which has a unicorn on its head, and the legendary Quaker Oats Dragon, or Oats as we like to affectionately call it. So, in chat, we need a dragon, we need a color, and we need a weakness. Creed, you can get the first open.
Gonna stick with one of my favorites, a true blue dragon. This dragon is gonna be a cool dragon with shades. It's gonna, like I said, true blue dragon, Buster weakness.
And I want the Swaggin, I want monochrome, and I want to see some crash. I want pain. I want to at least get 10 points before the tournament's over. Right now I'm sitting on 5, and ooh, Prodigy gets nailed.
Fortunately, we do have a good time stopper. Time stopper having one of the randomized attributes that it can either be a full draining weakness like in vanilla, or you can see right now that it has the ability to stop time for a short period of time, the turn duration being randomized, along with the amount of energy that it drains after it's done freezing. And we're about to get ourselves the dragon sighting, and it is a purple dragon corn. Full Barney. No, that's Baby Bob.
That's Baby Bob.
Barney. No, that's Barney.
Oh, that is Barney.
What am I talking about?
Ooh. And oh, what do we got here? Wow, that bubbles is bad. Oh, quick boomerang.
Well, if you definitely guessed the dragon corn that looks like Barney with quick boomerang, then you got yourself a good old pat on the back. So congratulations to you. But one of the things, the dragon does have 2 weaknesses. So if you missed it with a quick boomerang, you might get it with another weakness. As Casual Time will show you soon, maybe.
Maybe. And with that being the case, something else is going to be a big one. And oh, he gets nailed as well. Excuse me. Also new to the randomizer is our Pico blocks. We have regular Pico, we have Twitch Pico, and we have the Inviso Pico. Oh, both of us have experience with Inviso.
Yeah, the Invisible Pico is probably the jerkiest one of the 3 Pico types. If they get that particular Pico, you're pretty much going to have to be able to literally kind of memorize the patterns for the Pico units. And that can be very taxing if you wind up losing place of either one of them, especially as you know that as you defeat one after the other, they do increase in speed, so hopefully they can either keep track of them or find a weakness that can one-shot them to negate the process. But of course, we gotta see that kind of Pico first and foremost.
Well, Crash Mom was a winner, so that's a half point for me.
Nice.
And we got Twitch Pico today. And ooh, we're gonna have to go hunting. This is... Wait a minute. Oh, that's a god weakness in bubble. 1 for 1 and really good ammo consumption.
Yeah, for this kind of ammo consumption, this is definitely the go-to weapon of choice for this fight. Cause the bubble lead, yeah, its ammo consumption is terrible. Especially if it's normally the bubble lead's weapon ammo count can be much more generous. So to have it this low and yet be one shot with 1 tick per Pico kill, this is definitely the go-to for this fight. We're gonna see if Casual Time, as he makes his way slowly to the Pico fight, will find that weakness just as fast, because Prodigy is making headway, pretty much gaining more and more time on Tom.
Indeed. Let's see why they clean his pipes. Yes and no, all is required. And looks like Grandma's gray gravy. Ugh.
Yeah, this stage could be a little more deadly with his enemy set, but fortunately this was a very friendly enemy set, and of course, with our runners being completely familiar with Mega Man 2, they have no problem going through the spike drop, and Prodigy will make his way very quickly towards our boss, which is the Guts Tank.
Ah, the Guts Dozer. And also, I believe it was this year or maybe early last year that we included lagless spikes in lagless water. So, ooh, that's a pink dozer. Uh-oh, he finds the air shooter. A little awkward to use, but he gets it though.
Yeah, a little bit more vertical than it is horizontal, so it probably was able to get probably about 1 or 2 of those tornado shots rather than the full 3 maximum, but still able to make quick work of that Guts Tank.
And now the big question of the day: is this the Great Equalizer or is this free?
Well, it's gonna have to be the great equalizer for Tom's sake. Prodigy is just mowing through this seed very quickly, having very little trouble, and has a very dominant lead over Casual Tom. So Casual Tom pretty much needs to pray that Prodigy makes a fatal error in order to get back in this race.
Yeah, Tom is gonna have to clean up. He's gonna have to clean up a little bit. Not to mention Prodigy's got a little bit of luck in the anxiety rooms, or maybe over here. Let's see if he picks the wrong one.
Prodigy is skillfully going through that section where there is a fake platform. He recognizes the spaces where it is safe to stand on and is able to safely traverse those areas.
Oh, we got shrimp. That could make for an interesting room. And oh, bubble again, and a better weakness than air.
Well, it does take note that some of these Wily bosses do have multiple weaknesses, with Buster being a potential extra weakness if the sea so chooses. So before we get to our boobing fight, boy, Prodigy undershoots his jump, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Casual Tom, but he's still got a ways to go. As Casual Tom still got a few screens to go before making that checkpoint. But this You're going ahead.
But this is exactly what Tom was looking for. Now Prodigy's gonna have to take a much slower third room. Yeah, with that, Casual Tom picked up some time here, and realizing that as well. And yeah, Prodigy's gonna have to slow up. This could be a nail biter.
There's no spawnable shrimp, so he has to wait for the items to actually disappear before trying for the pause buffer to skip the rest of the moving platform section. Is able to do so, and it should probably now be on his way to the boobing fight, but not without Tom pretty much catching up thanks to that unfortunate death for Prodigy.
And it's called the Great Equalizer for all the wrong reasons. If Casual Tom gets to hit, he's just a whole way away, and it's boobing time. Nope. So Metal Blades is off the table. It is not wood, so wood's off the table.
Alright, so all that's left to do is just find the wall weakness, which is Atomic Fire in this case. For those that are new to the Randomizer, one of the biggest changes is that the walls and the boobing turrets are different weaknesses, so you shouldn't have any means to actually lose ammo in this fight, and even more so since there is a possibility of what you're seeing right now, the Buster being the weakness for the boobies, making you able to not even have to worry about using the extra weapon energy to defeat this stage and not have to deal with a potential death for having low energy.
And because of that misplay by Prodigy, Casual Tom is right there. Here we go.
Alright, so by the time Casual Tom's able to get in, Prodigy might be one or two Robot Masters ahead, but as you saw throughout the run, Casual Tom, if he remembers, he does have a couple of weaknesses in the back pocket that could make this boss rush even faster. But one, let's see if he remembers, and two, if he does, will it be enough to put him even or put him ahead?
2-1 in favor of Prodigy. And Casual Tom is going to have to keep fighting it out. 3-1 in favor of Prodigy. 3-2 in favor of Prodigy. 4-2 in favor of Prodigy.
And of course, we got the classic battle for clockwise versus counterclockwise. Right now, clockwise is winning, but once again, it's a situation where having knowledge of weaknesses can be the difference maker in how close this match is going to be.
4-5 in favor of Prodigy. And right now, because of that heat weakness, If Prodigy doesn't realize that heat weakness, he's going to be falling behind 5-6 in favor of Prodigy. It's tied at 6.
Oh, that was a great weakness that was discovered from Bubble Man with the Metal Blade weakness. A good 2-shotter.
7 apiece. Unfortunately, though, he's gonna have to hurry this up. He finally finds the weakness.
The ultimate weakness, the Leaf Shield and the Metal Blade, the Leaf Shield on heat. So Prodigy is able to be the first one into the Wily Machine. Casual Tom closing in very fast.
Oh, now it's the hunt. Oh, Tom finds heat and metal and quick boomerang by Prod. Oh, Metal Blades too. Oh, this is gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be whoever can find that alien weakness now.
Yep, it could be a difference between first page or second page. The alien hunt is going to be one of the crucial moments. There's only one weakness and one weakness alone for the alien. So it's going to be dependent on who finds that weakness first, and if they can find it, can they beat it quick enough to overtake each other?
And right now, about half a hallway ahead, Prodigy is going to be the first to check out. So if this is going to be absolutely crucial. If Casual Tom wants to win, he's got to get it right the first time. Prodigy to win, he just needs to find it faster than Tom. Here we go. Sherlock Holmes. It's Sherlock Holmes time. It ain't the Buster.
Alright, he sticks with the first page. Casual... Is it going to be anything for the first page? They both stick with the first page. Prodigy's going to have the advantage because he's going to be checking most of the stuff sooner, and he
got it.
It's quick boomerang.
Boomerang. Oh, not what you want to see. And he's gonna go to the second page, not realizing this. Prodigy, first blood.
And yep, that's official racetime.gg time of 31:25. First place, match 1 and first blood goes to Prodigy.
And here we go, Casual Tom right behind. 31:48. And mind you, that was only race 1. We got at least one more to go.
Yep, 23 seconds pretty much separated between these two, first and second. We're gonna be here for the long haul, but we're gonna be here for the true long haul if Casual Tom is able to recover and win match 2.
Indeed. So while we wait out to see what's going on over here, we're gonna see about flag sets and get ourselves set up. So we'll be back shortly. Until then, in chat, here's the question of the night: what's in your cup? Hello again. Welcome back. Winners finals of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament. Prodigy, Casual Tom, 1-0 to Prodigy. We got a long race ahead of us. Joining me in the booth again and invited is Creed. How you holding up, Creed?
I'm holding up very, very well. I am very excited for this second race of our best of three. Hopefully, Casual Tom will recover from this last one and will rush right back in it, giving Prodigy a fight to remember.
This time around, we got something very interesting to look into. This flag set will be as follows. No randomized sprites, so what you see is what you get. They will be allowing zips, easy of course, and it'll be revealed. So this is pretty much last year's tournament season, if I do say so myself.
The only randomization that's probably going to be getting is their character sprites themselves, which they have the right to use whichever character sprites they choose. But all the enemy sprites, all the weapon sprites, stage backgrounds, all of those will be normal, so you won't have to worry about any icing pain if you didn't enjoy what you saw the first time. It'd be all natural from this point.
Yeah, funny part about this is that means that we won't be able to